Hello, my creative friends. I'm Heather North from heatherscreativeblessings.com. It is release week of the new Stamp of Approval Candy Cane Lane collection from Catherine Pooler. And I am so excited to share my cards with you, including the card we'll be making today, my Winter Deer. This collection is so playful and fun and jolly. I think you're going to enjoy playing along with it. So this is the card we'll be making. I'm trying to show you the iridescent ice, how the glitter in it catches the light, and it's hard to see in pictures, so I wanted to make sure I showed you that on camera. This card really comes together quite fast, and it's something that you could do multiples of if you wanted to. Just stamp each of them and then start die cutting. So what I'm going to start with is the stag head. It's being stamped in soft suede ink by Stampin' Up. And then I'm going to stamp the outline of this in soft sky. But I did it wrong. Basically what you want to do is you want to ink up the back side of the stamp. And so I flipped it over, I inked it up, and then when I stamp down, you see it kind of gives the outline, and that makes it easier to line up the plaid stamp that I'm going to stamp next. And also it's easier to line up the die without having a white edge around it if you don't want that white edge. One thing I wanted to point out here as I'm inking this up in Lost Lagoon ink is how well these stamps out that solid image. You know, a lot of times it can be really splotchy and it's hard to get a good impression with clear photopolymer, but these are really high quality and I think they turned out very well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. I'm going to die cut out the little shirt, and I just use a piece of Post-it note tape to hold my dies in place, and through the magic of a video, there they are both cut out. So my next step is to add the little cutie patootie little nose and eyes. When I first saw this stamp, the little 3 dots, I thought, oh, that's cute. She did a little 3-dot accent. And then I realized, oh, wait, I think this goes on his face. Ta-da! One of the interesting things about being on a design team for a new release is you don't know what these stamps are supposed to do all the time. It's not like we have all the wonderful images that you guys get with the PDF if you buy the collection, and so we're just kind of winging it, and I don't always get it right. Eventually though, I'll figure it out, hopefully. So I just used some two-way glue and glued his shirt on, and I'm going to set him aside for a moment. While I was die cutting, I also die cut out the Mary label dies, and I wanted to point this out because the dies cut the outside shape, but they also have these embossed lines, double lines, and it's so pretty. And I had a really hard time deciding whether to do Noel or Merry Christmas. I like both of them. So on this card, I'm just going to go with the Noel I'd already stamped out because I kind of felt bad for it not using it. You can choose whichever one you want. So now let's get started on the background. I'm going to stamp out this banner, and I created this banner by just cutting a strip a little bit less than 2 inches. It's 1 7/8 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and that was my experiment piece. I experimented with just using Versamark, with using iridescent ice, and with using a white I think it was like a snow embossing powder from Wow. They all look really good, but I thought in the pictures this might show up even better, so I went with the iridescent ice. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that strip of, this is soft sky paper by the way, and I'm going to take some of the smaller images. There's a little triple dot, there's some dots in some of the other stamps in this collection, but I'm going to just try using just one stamp set to stamp this entire thing, and so that in the future, if you don't get this collection and you only get this one stamp, you could still make this card. So I pulled out the little snowflakes, asterisks, that kind of thing, and I just put them all on one clear block. And then I'm going to take my deactivator tool, if you have an embossing buddy or something to remove static, and just rub that on there. It would actually be okay if you didn't, because it is a snowy background, so if anything sticks to it, it would just be kind of a pretty snowy look. But for the purpose of this video, I did use my deactivator tool. And then I'm going to ink up this stamp or I guess it's all 4 stamps, with Versamark. I'm going to stamp it down, and I'm going to twist it and turn it as I go down this banner. And then after I've stamped these larger images, I'll pull some of them off and fill in the holes. Now, I would suggest making your little fishtail end at the bottom before you do this, so you can make sure you have this stamped correctly, but I was not thinking and just started going for it. I'm going to put some iridescent ice embossing powder over this. This is by Stampin' Up. And then I'm going to heat set it until it melts, and then see if I need any holes, and I can stamp some more of those snowflakes on there. To make the little V at the bottom of my banner, I'm just going to mark the halfway point, and then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to go up about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. It depends on how deep you want that V to be, up the center, and then I'm going to go from the outside corner up to that center point, and then the other corner up to the center point, and it makes that little upside down V, or little mountain. And then to get the border, I just took a piece of Lost Lagoon paper, and this is just 1/8 of an inch wider, so it's 2 inches, and it's a little bit longer. And on the card I made originally, the Merry Christmas card, I put that soft sky paper all the way to the top, but I kind of like the little border I got when I just had the pieces sitting here, so I've pulled it down a little bit, so a little bit of the Lost Lagoon shows all the way around this banner. And then I just took my paper snips and I snipped off the bottom, following along that same V. Now I'm going to work on the card base. This is a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 inch cardstock, scored in half at 5 1/2, and then folded. And then I put it back out again. And then I use a piece of Post-it note, and it's a large Post-it note. And I'm just covering the back side of my card so that I don't stamp off onto the back side. Then I'm going to take the same snowflakes that I used before on the banner, and I'm going to stamp them all over this page. Again, turning my stamp as I go to make sure that it's a random pattern. And the first color I'm using here is Soft Sky Ink. And then I'm going to take individual little stamps, little snowflakes and stars, and I'm going to stamp them in Marina Mist and then Lost Lagoon. The Lost Lagoon is for the little deer face. But as you can see, they're really just 3 dots. I think that looks so cute. If you wanted 3 perfectly spaced dots, one of the other stamps in this collection has that, and you could use it. But I really wanted to try and use just 1 stamp set on this card. And now what I did was I just put the banner and the label die where I thought I was going to end up sticking it down, so that I could fill in any spots that needed a little bit more. And then I'm just going to adhere all these pieces together, and my card will be done. Thank you so much for being a part of this with me. And be sure that you go over to my blog and check out the links to the other cards that I've been making, as well as how to get on the wait list to find out when this stamp set becomes available. This particular card and video instructions will be included in the PDF that comes with the Candy Cane Lane collection. Also, if you are watching during release week, you'll want to be sure and click on over to Catherine Fuller's blog and take part of her blog hops each day for your chance to possibly win one of these collections for yourself. Thank you so very much for joining me today. If you like my card, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel to see more from me. I'll see you in the next video. I can't wait to share the rest of this collection with you. Bye!